If you're here to just see how to use JungleScout's Chrome extension, this is the perfect video for you because I've already used the web app to drill down and come up with certain products which I think have good demand in the market and have decent sales. And in this video, I'm actually going to show you how do you use the JungleScout Chrome extension and why is it such a crucial tool in the product search process. Alright, well achievers, welcome to the third part of the JungleScout starter series, and I hope you followed me along with the previous two videos. If you haven't checked that out, I'm going to just link the one and the second video, both of them right here for you guys. So in this video, we're actually going to evaluate those certain products and see if any of those products qualifies for further investigation. By further investigation, I mean that we are going to track a product which qualifies, which has good sales numbers, which has decent competition, which has enough demand in the market. We are going to actually track it for 5 to 6 days to actually confidently say that it has ample demand in the market, and then we should look at, or we should try and find a supply for it and move to the sourcing phase of the launch process for your Amazon FBA private label business. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up button because it really helps to spread this video across the community on YouTube. And make sure you comment down below, make sure you leave your questions down below, make sure if you want to discuss anything, you just want to say hi, whatever it is, just don't forget to comment down below because I read all of those comments and I personally respond to each and every one of you. Alright, so without any further ado, let's get in the video, but we gotta play that intro. So what are we going to do now is basically identify the broadest keyword for each of these products separately. So I'm actually going to go through all of these 7 products one by one. We're not going to look at them at once. We are going to identify the most broadest keyword. Now let me explain what a broad keyword is. A broad keyword is basically a keyword which is the heart and soul of the product. For example, okay, let's take our first product as the example. The name that you can see over here is 100 pieces matte double-sided colored stand-up bag, right? So I believe the most broad keyword is the most generic keyword that this product has by removing all of the attributes that they have put in the title. All right, that's kind of like a technical way to go about it so that you can actually trim off all of the attributes it has. For example, this is a set of 100 pieces. Now that does not matter to search this product, so I'm going to just trim that off. Matte is probably a type of this product, so again, like, we can ignore that. Double-sided colored stand-up bag. So I think the most broadest keyword is actually stand-up bag. So what are we going to do now is basically just open a new tab on Amazon. All right, let's go to amazon.com. You must make sure that this is always set to all departments, and we are actually just going to insert the most broadest keyword that we think is relevant to this product, which actually gives this product and similar products as search results on amazon.com. So that is the goal of you finding out the most broad keyword and searching it on amazon.com. So let's do it. So I believe the most broad keyword for this product would be stand-up bags. Let's first try that. If it doesn't work, then we will spend some more time and energy over there. Stand-up bag. Alright, let's see what do we get. Alright, so yeah, that was absolutely correct. We are actually getting similar products, similar to what we have opened here through JungleScout web app. All right, and this is the kind of product that we are actually observing on the other tab. So after we search with the most broad keyword, and if we find the search results relevant to the product that we are observing, we're going to go one step further, and that's basically hitting the JungleScout Chrome extension button right here and letting it run through all of these results that it sees on this page and let it do the magic, let it give us the number. So I'm just going to go and click on the JungleScout Chrome extension button, and this is what it is going to feel like and look like on your screen as well, exactly the same way. Alright, Alright, don't get too excited yet. So I'm gonna actually just talk out loud and make you understand what am I looking at, what do I think when I'm looking at the screen, and how does my mind work, so that you can understand this. Like I've always been telling, there's a lot of information. Make sure to watch this video a couple of times. Just watch it now without taking any notes. Don't divert your attention, but always come back to it with a notepad and make a lot of notes, so that you can keep all of these things in front of you while you're actually doing your product research. Alright, so what do I see here first? First of all, I actually want to be very sure that the products that I'm seeing are exactly the same. Sometimes what happens is that when you're searching for a keyword on Amazon, right? Sometimes what happens is when you're searching for a keyword on Amazon, you actually get relevant products which are related to this particular keyword but are not exactly the same product. For example, this. Alright, this we can ignore because it is an ad. So you can ignore all of the sponsored ones, because sponsored ones are actually forcibly coming here because somebody is actually paying Amazon to show their products on this page for this particular keyword. Alright, but I believe, again, like you see over here, the last product is also a sponsored product, but it's absolutely different. But the seller who sells that product is actually trying to find a target audience, and I believe somebody who's buying this bag might also be interested in a similar kind of bag for a different purpose. Alright, so let's look at the numbers. Alright, like I said, the first thing that I'll do is actually just hover over all of these different products and see if they are the same. So what it basically did is alright, let me just tell you what happened once we clicked on this button. Alright, once we clicked on that button, JungleScout actually went through all of the listings on this page, ignoring the ones which are ads. Alright, it went through all of the listings on this page, all of the 16 listings that it sees on this page, and fetched their numbers, such as the brand name, the price, the category, the rank, the monthly estimated sales, the daily estimated sales, revenue, reviews, ratings, seller. So it pulled all of these details for all of these 16 products from its backend, which it has been tracking and keeping a track of on its own. Alright, so like I said, the first step that we're going to do is actually just hover over all of these products and see if they are all the same. If in case any of these products do not seem similar to what we are looking for, you can just always hit this cross button, so it will actually just remove that product from this list and give us these averages which are at the very top on the basis of the list that it has after you remove that product. Alright, I'm sure it's a little too complicated, but always just rewind it and check it out. You gotta watch this video a couple more times to really understand what am I talking about. Alright, so I also usually remove the products which do not fall into the average price point. So I see there is a product over here which is priced at $8. There's a product here which is priced at $15. There's a product here which is even priced at $35. So I see a lot of variations in the price range, and that could be because of a lot of reasons. It could be because of the different product sizes, because it's a bag. It could be because of the different package quantity, because I see there are individual bags as well, and there are bags which are actually priced which come in a set of 100, and there are bags which can probably be used multiple times, and there are also bags which are basically just use and throw ones. So I believe the expensive ones usually would be the ones which can be used multiple times. Alright, moving on. The next thing that I like to see over here is the rank column, where I actually like to see if most of the products have a rank under 20,000. Now you might ask, why is that? Why did I say 20,000? Now 20,000 is actually a thumb rule, and frankly speaking, it would actually depend on different categories. This threshold would actually depend on the category that I'm looking at, but 20,000 is a safe, kind of like a safe bet, because every category on Amazon has at least more than 100,000 products. So if you are looking at a product which is ranked under 20,000, that means it is actually selling decently on Amazon because the rank of the product is directly proportional to the sales it has in the last 24 hours. So if the rank of multiple products of the product that you're looking at, so for example, if a bunch of products on this page have their rank under 20,000, that means there's enough demand for it, and it's not like just one of the listings are actually getting a lot of sales, but the sales are evenly distributed across a bunch of listings and there is a demand for it in the market. So that is something to note down right now. So that is a point to be noted. All right, so as you can see, like, let me just validate it with data. As you can see, 1 2 3 4 5 6, about 6 of them have their rank under 20,000, and as you can see, and like you see over here, the lowest one is actually selling about 955 units on average in a month. The next one is 500, the next one is 352, the next one is 375, 157, 525, etc, etc, etc. So you can see that there is a decent enough demand in the market because all of these different listings are actually getting a decent number of sales in a month, which is, I think all of these ones except the one over here, all of these are actually getting at least 10 or more units sold in a day, which is actually a very good place to be in. Okay, one thumb rule that I usually apply when doing this kind of product research through Chrome extension is that I look at the monthly sales column, I add up the numbers for the first 10 products, and I see if all of them are actually going beyond 2000. The sum of the first 10 products that you see on your JungleScout Chrome extension should ideally go beyond 2000. That is, again, that's just a thumb rule. Basically what it means is that all of these listings are at least selling 200 units, which is actually a good place to be on average. But I'm pretty sure this one's actually going to fail that test and we are going to have to drop that product. But I wouldn't just do it as immediately as it fails. I would actually go a bit further because we've already done a lot of hard work to get to this stage and drill down this product out of the 66 million products that we had seen in the previous video. So yeah, what I see over here is that a bunch of products have their sales above 300. So there's 1 2 3 4 5. 5 of the 16 items that we see on our page have their sales more than 300, which is also a good sign to have. Now let's move on to the next column and see if there is something more of interest that we see in this data. So I'm just gonna ignore the daily sales column, and I would really appreciate if every one of you just ignores that, because this is very dynamic. I really do not trust this particular data because it can just change on a daily basis. It's a very, very hard estimate. Okay, all of the data that you see except the rank, the price of the product name, the brand name, all of the data, like for example the LQS, all right, the revenue, the monthly sales, all of these are estimates. But the daily sales is basically something, but the daily sales is something that fluctuates a lot, and that is why I would not really go by the number on that particular column. So just ignore that. Alright, the revenue doesn't seem to be that great. So as you see over here, this first one is actually selling about 1,000 units, but it's only making $14,000, alright, and it's actually selling them at $15, which again is kind of under our minimum selling price, which I told you should be $21 or $20 at minimum, because if you're selling anything below $20, you can never make a $10 profit, and that is something that you would not want to be doing when you're first launching out your product, when you're launching out on a budget, when you're just starting out this business. You really want to get back a lot of money and make some profits so that you can invest back in the business. So I would really not advise any one of you to pick a product that is priced at $20. Alright guys, we have run the JungleScout on this product and we have all of the numbers in front of us. So what it has basically done is it has gone through all of the listings on this particular page in the back of the overlay that you see, and it has actually pulled the data of all of these 16 products which are there on this page from its backend, it's basically put it on a chart for us to easily mine through it and observe it. I want you to ignore this top column of the JungleScout Chrome extension because that can be very, very, very misleading at times. I don't want you to look at this number at the top which says, wow, the opportunity score for this product is 7 out of 10 and it has medium demand, it has low competition, and if you just look at this number and completely depend on it, I'm telling you, you're taking a big risk on your business, on your money, and on your investment. So I want you to ignore all of this, and I'm gonna teach you exactly how do you process the data that's coming out on this table. All right, one step at a time. I'm gonna actually tell you how does it all work. How have I programmed my head to observe the data and actually process it while I'm looking at it. So with practice, you will also get as swift as myself. But for now, just look at it. All right. So as soon as I run this Chrome extension on this page, I basically just browse and hover over all of these products and see if they're all the same kind of products. Because what happens is that sometimes there can be different products which are indexed for this keyword, and you can get them in your search results right here. Now, I'm not talking about the sponsored products. The sponsored products, which are basically the ones you see over here. For example, the first one over here is sponsored. Basically, it's an ad that Amazon is putting up on the screen for this particular keyword. The second one is also an ad, which is sellers. There are sellers just like yourself who are running ads to show their product on this page for this particular keyword. It can be for this particular keyword. So JungleScout, so don't worry about them. JungleScout actually ignores those products and gets the data of the ones which are actually coming organically, which means that they are actually coming from the system of Amazon, from the backend database of Amazon on this page when a customer is searching for this keyword. So the products that you see over here are absolutely the ones which are coming automatically from Amazon. So the first thing that I'm going to do is actually just hover over them and see if all of them are same. If any one of them seems absolutely offbeat, if something seems very different from the expected result, just hover over the serial number over here and you will see a cross button that comes up. I just really want to thank each and every one of you who has been following since the last 2 videos that I've created. I hope you can understand there's a lot of work that goes into making these videos, especially videos like this one when the content is just so long and just so information heavy. It really takes a lot of preparation. It also takes a lot of effort to actually edit the videos and put it out there for you guys so that you can enjoy it and you can also get a lot of value out of it. So I would really appreciate it if you can just hit that thumbs up button anytime when you're watching the video, and please, if you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe, because this, even though it's the last video of this JungleScout starter series, this is one of the many videos that I'm actually planning to create in this month itself around product research. So there's a lot of things coming in, there's a lot of new updates that I'm pushing out for free for all of you guys on YouTube. So do not forget to subscribe and also to hit that notification bell, because I just want you to be the first one to watch everything that I release so that you can stay ahead in the game and you can always stay updated with all of these techniques that are there in my head, and you can take away the 2% extra information which I spoke about in the last video. You can take away that 2% and put it in your head from my head. Sorry, my camera's SD card got full once again. Anyways, we're back. So like I was saying, I'm just gonna hover over all of these products and actually see if all of them are exactly the product that we are actually looking forward to. If they're not, you're just gonna remove it from this list. Moving on, the second column, we're actually going to see the brand. All right, now here there are 2 simple things to observe. First, if you see the brand column dominated by a single brand. So for example, you see this name Some Direct over here. Now if, hypothetically speaking, if this entire column or majority of the column was dominated by just this particular brand, that would mean that they have some kind of monopoly in that particular product. That means they have some kind of design rights or patents or whatever it could be. They could have some extra power, which basically means they could have some monopoly in that particular product as a brand, and that's something to stay away from usually. The second thing that you should also look for is if you see a brand here which is one of the big brands in the market. For example, it could be Amazon itself, it could be Amazon Basics, it could be anything that produces this kind of product, such as a big company or big plastic manufacturer. So if you see a very big brand here, and if they are again dominating it, you might want to relook at this product, because usually what happens is that when a big brand is a part of a product in a particular space, that means they usually have a lot of patents, the design rights, and a lot of selling rights as well, and you wouldn't want to get into a space where you want to compete with them, because you will never be able to compete with them. So that's just something that you might want to check. But although since we had set our filters to just single and individual sellers on the JungleScout web app, which you should check out. If you haven't checked out the previous video, you should check it out after you watch this video. Right, moving on. Next, you should look at the price column. Now the price, like I told you, I usually prefer products which are priced on average at $20 or more, because it's very difficult to make a $10 profit per product. All right, that's usually after PPC. You should try and aim to make $10 profit per product after your ad expenses. So it's usually very difficult to do that if your product is priced at $20 on average. So as you can see over here, this seems to be failing that thumb rule, because not just one, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So 10 of the listings, so 10 of the products out of these 16 products are actually priced under $20. Moreover, I think they're priced under $15 or $17, which is again like going in the red danger zone, right? So I think this product might not be a good fit, but I'm just gonna still look further and just talk about all of these things that I'm looking at. But I think this is already failing my thumb rule of it being at average price of $20 or more, right? Going forward, there's a rank column. We can talk about that later. The monthly sales column. Now this is interesting. So what I like to do over here in this column is that, first of all, there should be an even spread. Now what that means is that the sales should not be driven by only a couple listings, right? Since you see 16 listings here, the sales should be evenly spread across all of the listings. Everybody should get a share of the market. If it so happens that just 1 or 2 or maybe 3 products are actually just ruling the market like crazy, and everybody else is just not even able to get a couple hundred sales, that means you should probably stay away from that product as well, because again, it could be a brand thing, it could be a market domination thing, and it could be that people are just too inclined towards the products which are already there in the market, and they would just not buy anybody new who's entering in the market with the same product as well. So as you can see over here, this is decently distributed. So you can see the first product has about 500 plus sales, the second product is close to 1000, third product again 500, the fourth one has 60 sales. Now that could be because it might be a new product as well, so you cannot really guess just by looking at this number. So don't make any hard assumptions just because you see one product making 60 sales in a month on average. Or it could also be because it actually went out of stock, came back into stock, so now it's regaining its rank. It could be a lot of reasons, and you will get to this kind of thinking process once you're actually going through a lot of products on a daily basis. So you just have to just hear me out, go back, rewind, hear me out again, and keep trying, keep failing, keep trying, and then you will get to this kind of thinking pace that I'm talking about right now. Next one, about 150 units, again 150 units, 40, 63. Then you see another one over here which has 352 units. Again, another one over here at the bottom has 375 units. So you see, even though these products are not really at the very top of the search results page, they're still making about 350 units on average, which means, and they have a good rank as well. So which means the sales are actually decently distributed. But another thumb rule that I usually like to apply when I look at this particular column of monthly sales is that I try to add the sales of the first 10 products, and I see if they altogether amount to 2000 plus sales on average, right? Or maybe even close to 2000. It's not like anything that I say right now is just an estimate. It's not a hard thumb rule. You can always tweak it a little bit based on your imagination and your expectation that you want to set. But if you see over here, I believe 500 plus 900 is about 1500, 2000. So again, like it's easily crossing the 2000 mark. And if I just sort it by sales, I see the first 10, right? The first 10, they're easily crossing the 2000 sales a month mark, which is a good thing. But so it's actually passing my test on the sales, but it seems to be failing my test on the price column, right? So if it actually fails in any of these different parameters, I usually drop the product, and that's something that you must always be ready to do. You do not want to get attached to a product just because it seems good on one of those columns, one of those metrics, one of those parameters, and it fails in something else, and you think that you'll just make it up somehow in the process. But just don't take any shortcuts. Amazon is all about strategy. It's a simple methodical process to launch a product on Amazon. So just don't take any shortcuts, and if one product fails, there are another 66 million products waiting for you. So don't really get in the haste of finding the product. Don't hurry. Right, revenue, again, I'm gonna just ignore because it's just multiplying the current data of sales it has on a monthly basis into by price. So I'm just gonna ignore that. Reviews, yes, reviews are interesting. Right, let's just sort them by the original order as they appear and look at the reviews. Our thumb rule was we should try and find a product which has a maximum of 80 reviews, and that is why you don't see any of the listing over here which has beyond 80 reviews, because because the web app actually just gave us the list of products which had 80 or less reviews. So this is a very good state to be. You can see that none of the products on the first page have more than 80 reviews. That means it has very low competition, which is something that the JungleScout is also telling over here at the top right corner in just one word. But again, like, this is not derived by observation. Like you and me, we just derived the fact that this has low competition by looking at these numbers, by looking at the review column, right? We did not just read that it has low competition and we discovered that it has low competition. We actually derived it, and that's actually a good thing to do. You should know how does this information get derived in JungleScout. Alright, you should actually know how does JungleScout derive this information based on the data that it actually processes. And in terms of demand, like I told you, the thumb rule is being met. It's actually having more than close to 3000 sales if you just sort it by number of sales of the products. So it definitely has some demand in the market, right? It has low competition, for sure. It has low competition, but so the score of 7 is justified over here. But when I actually weigh down to another criteria of price, which I want you guys to also follow up, right? If you weigh down with the price, I would actually give this a score of 5. Why? Well, I did not put any maths over there, so please don't think that I'm actually using a formula or something. I'm just randomly saying that I'll probably give it a score of 5 because it is not going through the criteria of price that I want it to be at. I want a product to be sold at about an average of $20. The average on the basis of the results that you see over here itself says that it's priced at $18.99 on average. So it's actually failing my criteria. We are just gonna drop this product and move on to the next one. Alright, I think I spent a lot of time on that particular product, but I'm just gonna go over quickly to other listings because I think you already know what am I looking at, what am I doing, how does the JungleScout Chrome extension work, what do we need to do to make it work. So yeah, now let's just go quickly and go through all of the rest 6 products and see if we can find a home run product. Alright, so the second product was a black picture frame of 8x10 size, right? So photograph frames, usually people, I think they search with the size itself. So the broadest keyword could be a keyword with one of these attributes of sizes. So 8x10 matte wall, okay, picture frame. So I'm just gonna, I think the broadest keyword would be 8x10 picture frame. So, that's interesting. So as soon as I typed 8x10, Amazon itself suggested that I may be wanting to search for a picture frame because 8x10 is like a global standard. It's a very common photo frame size in the market. So I'm just gonna hit that right? Make sure your category is again selected to all, right? So now you've got all of these results once, and I believe all of them are 8x10 frames because this is a popular product in the market already. I'm just gonna hit that JungleScout button and let's see what comes up. Right? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think it's gonna be? Will it be low competition? Will it be good demand? I'm pretty sure it's gonna be good demand. Oh, I was trying to hide my screen, but I think you can already look at it. So yeah. So one thing I can just say off the top of my head is that this product is definitely going to have demand in the market because it's a global standard. Everybody wants 8x10 frames, right? There's no second thought to it. So yeah, as you can see, the monthly sales are crazy high. They're in thousands. Like the first product itself crosses our 2,000 per month thumb rule mark, which is crazy. Like, come on, man, right? And if you look at the daily sales, again, I would just ignore that. Revenues are crazy high. Like the first one is actually even making close to $200,000 in revenue. Can you imagine that? If you could be that, if you could. So imagine if you were somebody who was selling this product, you could have been making, potentially, like if you had just started a couple of years back, today you could have been making $200,000 on average in a month. That's crazy. Alright, so the reviews column seems a little depressing. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna order them by reviews. And thumb rule again, a thumb rule, this is just a thumb rule. You can always play around these thumb rules to be a little different in terms of your thinking process. But the thumb rule is that you should have at least 3 to 4 products, which would basically mean you should have 3 to 4 spots on the first page, which you can actually come in the space, which you can actually take over once you launch your product and come into the market with this particular product. But if you see over here, this has super high competition. Now the competition is easily judged by the number of reviews. So you can see that none of the products over here have less than 80 reviews, which means it's very competitive, which means you cannot get into this space, which means you should just close this tab. Don't get attached to it. So don't get attached to these sales numbers that you see, which are crazy high, right? Don't get attached to anything for that matter. Just drop it if it doesn't work out for you. So this product is not going to work out for you. No matter how much money you have, you cannot make this work, right? Not in today's day and age. So I'm going to close that tab. Moving on. The next product we have here is, I believe, a dishcloth set, right? So let's just try and type dishcloth and see what comes up. Yeah, so I think the broadest keyword is dishcloth, and what are we gonna do now is I just searched the broadest keyword. Now if you're wondering where is this data coming from, for that you're gonna have to subscribe to my channel. You're gonna have to hit that notification bell if you want to know how am I getting this search data right here under the search bar. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any questions up till this point. I know it's a little too heavy on your head, but if you have any questions up till this point in any of the past 2 videos or in this video, put them down below in the comments and I will be happy and super excited to respond to each and every one of you. And if you want to interact with me personally, there's always the FBA group you can join for free, and I'm always there. I always respond within a day at max. If you post a question over there, or somebody else will always get to you if they have the answer for it, right? So yeah, let's move on, hit that JungleScout button and see what pops up. Right, I believe we are always getting products priced too low, right? So I think this is not gonna work because the price is too low. So the price of this product in the market is so low that I'm not even going to be interested in looking at the rest of the data, right? So that's how quick you need to be. That's how your mind should work. If it fails the first criteria, just drop it. Don't look at the next criteria. Usually, all right? Again, like you might still find something here and there, but this one is way off our expected selling price, which is $20. So I'm just going to drop this one immediately. Although the one thing that I'm going to do is actually although before I drop it, again, like here's a quick tip that I'm going to do. I'm just going to hit space and see if something pops up, and that Alright, let's just search for set once, because usually the sets are priced a little bit higher than individual products. Of course, that would make total sense. But I see that these are still priced a lot under $20, and I don't think a cloth product would be actually priced over $20. So I'm just gonna again skip this product. Moving on. Alright, this seems interesting. This is a cutlery set. I believe it's a disposable cutlery set. And so I believe the broadest keyword for this would be disposable cutlery set, and let's just search for that. Yep, all of the products seem similar. Let's hit the JungleScout button and see what do we get. Let me just check if there's a recording. Yep, it is recording, although my battery is super low. Hooray! Alright, finally we see that the average price of the products that are popping up on the first page is $21, which is a good signal, right? What's next? So Amazon Basics. Alright, that's interesting. Amazon Basics is also one of the sellers in this list. So, but you need not be scared, because you see there are a lot of other private label sellers who are also selling this product. Amazon Basics obviously is selling it at a lot cheaper than a lot of other sellers, which is impossible to compete with. But you should not worry about it, because the rest of the sellers are actually selling it at a decent price, which is $20 or more, $20 or more, 20. Then there's one at $30 as well, which is gold plastic cutlery set. Right, interesting. Right. But alright, interesting. This seems to be an interesting product. Let me tell you why. First, the price on average is closer to 20. Now what you can do here is actually just observe the ones which are priced over $20 and see why are they priced over $20. I think this was the one we were looking at. This is rose gold heavyweight disposable. This is probably a lot higher in quality as compared to the most other ones above it, and I believe it's the same case with the other products which are priced well above $20. They're just priced because they're a lot more premium, and I'm pretty sure they even sell well because they have got decent amount of reviews. As you can see, 494 reviews, 759 reviews, right? So without any further ado, first let's do the thumb rule. So it is kind of passing our price thumb rule. There's a potential in this product which is basically it can be priced easily above $20 if you source the premium ones, right? The monthly sales definitely are shooting out of the clouds. They are well above 2,000. There's a huge demand in the market. The revenue, I'm just going to ignore the reviews. Now the thumbnail for reviews, as I've been saying, is that you should at least have 3 to 4 products which are actually having 80 or less reviews. So let's count how many of them have 80 or less reviews. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, so 7 of the products here have less than 80 reviews, which means there is enough space for you to actually get into this market and make your own space within the pool of these sellers. So I think for now it's actually crossing all of our check marks, right? It's actually meeting all of our criteria. So we are going to keep this product aside for further investigation. We're going to actually track it through the product tracker, and we're going to observe it for the next 3 to 4 days and see if this product is actually a good bet or not. Right guys, let's move to our next product, and this one is Moso Natural 200 gram 500 gram air purifying bag deodorizer. So I believe the most broad keyword for this could be bag deodorizer. So let's just search for that first and see what pops up on Amazon. And ensure as usual that your departments are selected to all departments, and let's search for it. Alright. Okay. Alright, as you can see, the results are a little bit off than what we expected. So I believe we are not using the right keyword. Or maybe it's air purifying bags or something. Let's just search for air purifying. Okay, fine. So So always keep your eyes open and let Amazon do the work for you. So as soon as I typed air purifying, alright, since that is obviously the most broad key, like that's too broad for this product, you can see the first search result that pops up is actually air purifying bags. So I'm gonna just select that and wait for the results to come. Okay, they're already here. Now as you can see, the listings are much like as per our expectations, and we are looking at similar products right now. So let's just run the JungleScout extension and see what pops up. Alright, so excited when I get so excited when I click that button and all of this data is just populating. It's such a big mystery that one click can actually change your life. Alright, so as you can see, the JungleScout is telling us that this product has certainly high demand, but it also says that it has high competition. Now, I would like to bring your attention to this opportunity score and tell you that every time it's not correct. Now, it may be saying it has high competition, but as you can see, it clearly, we clearly see that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 spots which have less than 80 reviews, actually a lot closer to 0 reviews, and they're still making sales. Like this guy over here has about what, 468 reviews. This guy over here, as you can see, has 31 reviews. It is priced at $28.75 and it's still making a 1300 unit on average sales in a month. So we're actually even going to keep this product aside and track it as well for the next 3 to 4 days. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, the next product that we see over here is like we were looking at this in the previous video. This product has a lot of variations. I think this is the only product that we have discovered with variations. No, the previous one also had variations, but it had a different kind of variation. So yeah, this one has a lot of variations. So but it's not that very difficult to figure out what is the most broadest keyword. I think it is bathroom rug set, because that's what they're trying to sell, and that seems to be the only sensible keyword for us to search this product with. So I'm just going to go to the search bar again and just copy and paste bathroom rug set, because that seems like the most apt broad keyword for this. Let's hit search and see what pops up. Alright, so as you can see, the listings that come after we hit the search are more or less similar, and they're all trying to sell a bathroom rug set. So let's just hit JungleScout and see what pops up. Alright. The price seems to be pretty high of this product. Okay, that is interesting. That actually interests me. So if you see a high price, don't just run away, because you may be able to source it at a much cheaper cost, and that just could be the perceived value in the market for that product. Because like one of my friends is starting out with this product, and he's gonna price it at about $38, but his cost for manufacturing the product is actually just coming a little under $5. So you can imagine the kind of margin he's gonna play with. Okay, so the first thing that I would like to actually just see is if there's too much competition in the market. So, alright, if you look at the first page of this listing, you see that there are too many reviews with all of these listings on this page, and everybody has a lot of reviews. I mean, if you just sort them by reviews, you see this one has 4,000, 12,000, 1,200, 1,000, nearly 1,000, 500, 500. So a lot of listings on this on the first page of this search result has a lot of reviews. So I believe this is literally a high competition space, and I don't think it's going to be easy for you to get into this market without actually giving away a lot of units. So we're just going to steer away, and we're just going to drop out this product, because we don't want to deal with too much risk right now, because we are here to start with our first FBA product, and we want it to be a success. So the risk tolerance for the first product should usually be a little low, because you just want to get a sense of the entire process, launch this little product and learn the entire process, so that you can make some money and take higher risks in the future. So I'm just going to shut this tab right away. Alright, coming to the last product. This is the last product out of the 7 products that we had shortlisted. So let's check this one out. Okay, so this one is seems like to be a bathroom accessory set, and that certainly seems to be the most broadest keyword for you to search this product with. So I'm just going to copy it, paste it, hit enter as always, and yeah, so we are looking at the correct product. Let's just hit JungleScout without wasting a lot of time. Okay. The price seems to be in our favor. Okay, let's wait for everything to populate here. All right, looking interesting. The prices seem fine. The monthly sales seems okay, not that great. I'm just gonna sort this by the number of sales and see if any one of these have. Okay. All right, so this product again certainly seems to be in our price range. Okay, I don't think there's a big brand in the market who's gonna be dealing with bathroom accessory set. There are obviously a lot of private label sellers. The ranks are pretty good. Actually, a lot of sellers over here have good ranks, and if you see the number of reviews, this seems to have medium competition. Okay, if you see the number of reviews, the first couple of listings, the data is not populating. Now that could happen. This frequently happens in JungleScout because it probably might be a very new product. Alright, so don't panic, don't blame JungleScout. This is very usual. You can come back and run the search, run the JungleScout Chrome extension on this specific search keyword a couple of days later, and you might just see that data populating over here. Right, so let's just go through the listing. I see this one has about, this one has a rank of about 1400 and it's selling 3,800 units on average in a month. Let's look at somebody who is actually having lesser reviews. Okay, let's just sort by reviews and see if anybody is making good number of sales over here. 22 reviews, 222 sales, 47 reviews, 50. All right, so actually, even though JungleScout is telling us this has medium competition, but in my opinion, if you see, a lot of listings which have less reviews are really not making a lot of sales, because if you see over here, I don't see anybody making more than 300 sales by having reviews less than 80. So this one seems to be a little difficult space to get in, because obviously, as you can see, it has a lot of demand in the market, and there are a lot of sellers who might be having a good history of selling the product, because if you just sort it by monthly sales, you see that the reviews over here are pretty high for all of them, and you don't notice that there are a lot of spaces for you to get in. Like I could only see, when I sorted by the monthly sales, I could only see 1, 2, and that is it. And maybe you can say 3 and 4 and 5, but those are very much towards the end of the page. So I would just say there are just 2 spaces for you to get in, and those 2 are also actually pretty high, because this one has 63 reviews, this one has 75 reviews. So I think this could be a challenge for you if you're just starting out, and you might just need to invest a lot more into PPC, and your test order might have to be a little larger than 350 units. You might just not get the results for the launch unless you order in about 500 to 1000 units and then break even. So with that point of view and perspective in mind, we're also going to drop this product. And at this moment, I think we are done with all of the products. We have drilled it down and narrowed our potential to 2 products. One of them was this particular product, which was the bag deodorizer, and the other one was probably this one, the disposable rose gold plastic cutlery set. So we have successfully actually figured 2 products which can potentially be a private label product for you, and I'm not going to be launching these products, so you can actually take it up, but you must remember that a lot of people are watching this video, so you should actually just go through the process and find your own products yourself. And in the future videos, I'm going to actually show you exactly how do we track the sales of these 2 products that we have discovered using product tracker of JungleScout, and even without using product tracker of JungleScout for free. Alright, so with that, I'm gonna just leave you guys to it. Watch the first 3 parts once again and actually just make some notes, because it is a lot of information that I've given you in the last 3 videos, including this one. So make sure you watch all of these 3 videos, and please hit that like button, because I've put in a lot of effort and a lot of time in making these videos for you. I hope they helped. Let me know down below in the comments what you liked about this video, what you did not like about this video. If you want me to make a video in a specific topic, let me know, because once you tell me exactly what you need, I'm gonna make it for you, because that's how I want to help you all. Alright, so I'm gonna sign off right now, and we are going to meet again in the next video, where I'm gonna tell you how do you track the sales of these products and figure out if they actually have any potential in the market or not, because we haven't yet finalized that we can put the money on this product. We need to figure that out, and for that you need to keep watching, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I will see you in the next video. Till then, keep crushing it, find the next product, check out all of the 3 videos once again, and I will see you next time. Ciao.